And to move on to the renminbi, obviously it's pegged against the dollar, and there has been a lot of talk, obviously, about how this has been advantageous for Chinese exports. Do you see China allowing the renminbi to appreciate in any near future?
Well, first, as you know, in 1994, when China had a previous set of problems, they pegged it to the U.S. dollar at the urging and approval of the U.S. government. And now, of course, the U.S. government is saying, what are you doing, pegging your currency to the U.S. dollar? They have let it appreciate some in the last 4 years. They have been opening up more and more, as you know. Almost every quarter they do something. But in the last year, it has moved almost lockstep with the dollar for whatever reasons. Obviously not the market, and the market wouldn't let it do that. They are going to be forced more and more to open their currency. As I say, they're doing it anyway, but for some reason they're pegging it to the dollar in the last year. Now that's making many, many, many people unhappy, because all of the nations nearby that compete with China are unhappy. And China can tell people, we don't care if you're unhappy for a while, but that can only go on for so long. So I would suspect you're going to see more opening and some appreciation in the next year or two. Ultimately, of course, the renminbi is going to go up a great deal, in my view, because they are the largest creditor nation in the world. They do have a balance of trade surplus. They do have a lot of things. They save and invest over 35% of their income. Those are the sort of things that when you have a creditor nation, your currency appreciates. Again, it's nothing radical. It's just the way the world works, and it will work in China as well.
And so how is that affecting your own investment decisions in China?
It doesn't affect my investment decisions at all, except I do continue to buy a renminbi whenever I can. It's not that easy. It's not as though you just call up the phone and say, buy me the Australian dollar or the something. You know, it's a little more complicated than that, but I do try to continue to accumulate renminbi when I can. But that's mainly the only way it affects my investment, even thinking, because there's nothing that I can think of that I do that's directly affected by whether the renminbi is up or down. I own Chinese shares, but they're for the most part not affected. I own commodities, but they're for the most part not affected, other than buying the renminbi. That's all.
And do you continue to accumulate Chinese stocks?
Not at the moment, because they're up a lot. I mean, the Chinese stock market doubled in 10 months or something. So no, I've never sold any of my Chinese companies. I've been buying Chinese shares since 1999. Whenever they collapse, I try to buy more. If they collapse again, or when they collapse again, then I hope I'm smart enough and solvent enough to buy more.